This week, we're going to talk about the pros of being a travel healthcare worker. What are all of the great and exciting things about jumping into this career?
Nomadicare.com makes it easy to be a travel nurse, travel therapist, or any allied health traveler. It's full of unbiased education, a job board marketplace with pay listed up front, and there are free tools to learn how to negotiate to make sure you're getting paid fair. Our bread and butter is vetted recruiter matchmaking. You tell us where you want to go, and we will match you with perfectly vetted recruiters who pay the best and have jobs where you want them.
There are so many things I did not know when I first started traveling. I mean, I literally just kind of dove in blind at this whole get paid to travel thing, which actually worked out okay for me, but I learned a lot the hard way, and you really don't have to. I think it's knowing up front. Here is how the industry works. Here's what's awesome about it, and here is what's not awesome about it. And then you can decide if it is the right fit for you. Let's start with the pros and why I absolutely love travel healthcare. Pro number one, it's low commitment. The jobs that we take as travel healthcare workers are just 13 weeks at a time. And so we can go places and experience that place for 3 months, and then you decide. You can take another job right after it. You could have back-to-back 13-week contracts. You could extend if the place needed you and you wanted to stay. And you could work, but you also could take really cool breaks in between. And so for me personally, I was an adventure traveler. I did it for the experiences. So rather than go around the country and chase just whatever was paying the most, I went to places I really wanted to spend time and experience. And then I also worked usually about 3 contracts a year and got to take a full 2 to 3 months off every single year with no penalty. I had no boss telling me I couldn't, and I would go backpack the world. I lived in so many different countries for a week here or a month here and really got to see so much while I was traveling. And those memories and those experiences can never happen in a permanent job the way that our time off system typically works in America. So I am unbelievably grateful that somehow I stumbled into a career that gave me the ability to work contracts, make great money, and also go adventure as I wanted to. I know other people use that time off just to go spend time with grandkids or children, go home for a long Christmas, or just do nothing. But the point that we get to choose our schedule and our time off during the year is so cool. Number 2, pro, we get to choose where we go. There was a myth when I was in school where they said, don't become a travel healthcare worker. The agencies will tell you where to go and the places are the worst. You're only gonna go to the small towns. You wouldn't wanna go to them anyway. And it could not be further from the truth. There are openings all across the country. Now, not everywhere, not all 50 states and not every city in every state, of course, but there's lots of options out there. And we, as the travel healthcare worker, we're in control of which ones we go to. So yeah, staffing agencies, their job is to present us with all the options, or there's even better now than when I started, really cool job boards like Nomadicare.com's our job board, which has lots of different staffing agencies posting to one place so we can see them all. We can see our options, but a staffing agency is not in control of where we go. We are. So we say yes or no to contracts and we interview for contracts. So ultimately, we get to pick where we want to go travel to. Number 3, which is at the top of a lot of people's lists, I know, it's the pay. The pay not only is typically greater than a lot of jobs are when you work permanent, but we get some really cool perks. We get a whole portion of our pay that is not taxed at all. And that is so cool. And so ultimately, for me, someone who would work about 3 contracts a year, I can make more money working 3 contracts, which is 9 months out of the year, and then taking the rest of the time off to adventure than I could have made if I worked all 12 months as a permanent employee. So the pay is better. Number 4, say goodbye to the office politics. I know when you work somewhere for a long time, sometimes the place can get gossipy. Sometimes you can be pulled into meetings you don't want to be pulled into, and it can kind of just be a drag. There's something really cool about being the new person. You come in, you're friendly, you're there to just help out, and you're not really as concerned with, does this place kind of suck? Would I want to work here for an entire year? What do I need to improve to make sure I still like working here in 9 months? You're just a temporary help. You get to come in, help out where you can, see patients, not take it too personally. It's not really your permanent place. Then you can spend your weekends and your nights touring this new cool town and just not stress about the politics that are going on at work. And that's actually a huge stress relief. I don't think a lot of people realize how much those little petty things actually weigh on us. And it can feel amazing to be like, I don't care. I'm not bothered by that. This is not my permanent place of work. Number 5, it is a lot easier as a travel healthcare worker to avoid the burnout that comes with a lot of caregiving roles. Whether you're a therapist or a nurse or a sonographer, whatever your role is, it's hard. Our job is not only hard because it's physical on our bodies, and there's really big expectations a lot of times for how many patients we're supposed to see in a day. There's this whole emotional component. We're seeing people sometimes at their lowest times, and we really are trying to be there, empathetic for them. It's very, very caregiving, and it can be so draining. And to be able to have a job where you truly can take breaks when you need it and not be so caught up in the politics, it helps so much for the longevity to want to still be in healthcare years down the line versus working full-time, day in, day out, barely getting any breaks, not getting good vacations, not getting paid as well as you think that you should get paid. Those things lead us to sometimes saying, forget it, I'm not even gonna be in this industry anymore. But when you're a traveler and you can take that time off, sometimes you still love your industry for a lot longer because you don't have the same weight as you do many times when you are permanent in a place. Number 6 is something I didn't even think about or expect going into this, but travel healthcare comes with an amazing amount of self-growth, even when you didn't even mean it to. When you're traveling away from your home, away from what's comfortable, your friends, your family, and you're going somewhere brand new, that's naturally uncomfortable. Now, you might be saying, wait, Laura, this kind of sounds like a con, feeling uncomfortable, but it's not actually. It is so amazing what it is to leave that place that you were at, that you were one version of yourself, that you saw mostly the same things day in, day out, and leave and stretch yourself and let yourself be uncomfortable. I learned so much about myself leaving the place where I was comfortable. I gained unbelievable confidence that I didn't even know I didn't have in what I was capable of, and putting on different hats and different parts of myself and being like, wait, maybe I do like this over here. Oh, let me try this food. Oh my gosh, this food is amazing. All of these things that were slightly uncomfortable because I hadn't done them, so I'm not comfortable with it yet, really shaped me into the person I am today. And I am so grateful that I went on this journey and the self-growth that it gave me. Huge pro. And kind of along those same lines, number 7 is the clinical growth. So for me, I'm a travel occupational therapist. And when you're a therapist traveler, you can actually travel to all kinds of settings. So in my almost 7 years of traveling back to back, I worked in pretty much every single setting. Schools, nursing homes, home health, hospitals, outpatient clinics, pediatric outpatient clinics. And what was so cool about that is when I left OT school, I wasn't 100% sure what my niche was gonna be. And there were some things that I thought for sure I wasn't gonna like schools. I was like, I don't think I could ever be a school OT. Surprisingly, I fell in love with being a school OT, and lots of other populations and settings I would have never guessed would have been things I was passionate about. And I became a very strong occupational therapist by going to different clinics, seeing different management styles, tons of different ways different clinics did things, and taking my favorite pieces from each one of these clinics or facilities. Pretty amazing how quickly your clinical skills can grow. And the same works for nursing or anyone, even if you're not changing settings, wow, the hospitals do things really different from state to state. And so by you putting yourself in these different hospitals versus working in just one who does things one way for year after year, you're naturally going to have your brain thinking a different way and problem solving a different way because you're actually exposed to so many different ways that people do things. By the end of your travel journey, you're going to be a very skilled and adaptable clinician, which is so cool. Okay, so those were some of my favorite pros. There's actually a lot more, but those were my top ones. And I'm gonna end it there, but definitely join us for the next video because I'm also gonna be talking about the other side of the coin and what are all of the cons and what are all the things you should know and have good expectations around before going into this career as well. If you want to keep learning all about travel healthcare, like and subscribe to this channel. We have new videos that come out every single week, all about this topic. And of course, go to Nomadicare.com. That is an amazing website that is just for healthcare travelers, full of resources and tools that are free for you to use.